Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic veteran. I'm here today with Yanzi Lin, and we are talking about the word on the street is DC Comics is getting ready to do a big reboot. Maybe not so big, though. Let's get into it. Before we do, please look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Yanzi, explain this to the crowd.
All right, for those who don't know, there is this event right now called the Dark Crisis, which people do not really seem to care about because if we look at ICB2's numbers, issue number 3 of an event book is behind books like Amazing Spider-Man and Batman. You would think that an event book would be what, number 1 or 2 easy, but nope.
All right.
So anyway, back to that. So Nightwing in Dark Crisis number 7, which is the last issue, leads to the dawn of DCU, which is supposed to be a reboot of the DC Universe. There's been some artwork released by Dan Mora, who is, I guess, probably drawing this series, this event, whatever it is. And look at that. Not a single JLQ member in sight. It is all classic Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Diane Prince, the old gang, basically. Now, the only younger members here you see is Cyborg, Starfire, and Nightwing. And, well, Billy Batson, if you want to mention that too.
Right. Well, and I don't think age is a thing here. First off, this is, again, return to core, return to classics. And when I look at Nightwing, you see Starfire and Cyborg there. I'm going to look at it from working in comics for 20 some years. They can't really position themselves on Justice League after the Zack Snyder mess. I mean, that brand's kind of tarnished. And now it's time to lean into the next team book and that, or team thing. And that would be Teen Titans. So, or Titans, whatever you want to call it. So this at first glance looks like a return to basics, what you want from your DC universe. But so ideally, I would like to see some fancy artwork coming forward here. I like Dan's artwork, but I mean, if I had to criticize this, it's like, where's Jim Lee at in this? Phil Jimenez, where is he? Oh, wait, he's working with Mark Miller on some Miller World stuff. So like, we don't have like a big impactful artist here promoting what is supposed to be a big investment from retailers to fans alike. This reminds me a little bit of deja vu of Flashpoint going into the New 52. And I can't help but like link these two together because Flashpoint ended with a double page spread showcasing and going straight into the New 52. And that's kind of what looks like they're getting ready to do here. They want you to go from this one event nobody really seems to care about to a big reboot, and the reboot's happening in December, which is not the greatest time for a comic book relaunch. Now we'll get into why that's happening. Why are they having to do it now? We'll get into that in a minute. But I also want to bring up a really good point. Why do this if you're not going to change the problem? Like if the problem at DC Comics is gender, politics, pronouns, and all of that, and that's coming from probably DC editorial staff, these are the same people that are going to handle this reboot. I don't really care if you give me the core characters standing next to each other and it's what I want to throw money at. If it's the same people who have driven me away with things like bisexual Superman, bisexual Robin, and all of this stuff, like what are we going to have? And I've said this before in other videos, what's going to happen if these characters aren't bisexual anymore or they're not showcased anymore? How is the community going to react to that? Is DC Comics going to become like an ist or a phobe of a company? See, this is going to be interesting to see how this rolls out in the future days because of that. I don't think DC Comics can get back to basics. I really don't. I think this is like a nice wrapper, and when you peel it away, you'll see like nothing there. Really, really lackluster reboot. When I look back at New 52, and I was working around that, I knew a lot of the people working on that. One of the things they had was a big cash investment. And I'm not really seeing this here. You had Jim Lee, doing covers, coming to work on Justice League, approving all the layouts for all the first issues of New 52, really pumping it up. Warner Brothers at the time was paying for half the advertisement cost for every local comic book shop to push that. I don't see anybody talking anything like this. I see no reason for retailers to get jazzed. Besides, hey guys, we're going to give you the classic Hal Jordan. We're going to give you Batman. We're going to give you Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, looking like Aquaman, not looking like he has a beard like the movie Aquaman. This is like trying to trick old fans to come back. Now, we haven't talked about this per se on this channel yet, but the reason this is happening, and Yanzi, you brought this up, right? Like, is there's future layoffs coming.
So it seems like Warner Brothers Discovery is beginning to lay off hundreds of workers. Up to 30% of combined sales teams of merch companies are expected to be cut. So when you start cutting the sales staff, eventually you start selling less. And when you start selling less, what do? You produce less, right? So that's how it typically boils down. And DC has been through not one, not two, but three whole bloodbaths. They have lost pretty much all their old talent, wrangling new editors and
Right.
others who think that's more important to, do DC Pride Year instead of DC Pride Month.
Right.
I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. Now, we talk about also the timing of this event, right?
Right.
So, what is this new dawn of DCU coming up against? It's coming up against the Marc Silvestri Batman book, all right, in November. In fact, it's coming up against a lot of books in November. Look at this. We have the Batman Spawn Classic Collection coming out. A lot of people will want that just before the Greg Capullo Spawn comes out, by the way, which comes out in December, just so you guys know. So, again, two major things already. You have Jeff Johns' New Golden Age,
Right.
Justice Society of America #1, and Stargirl by Jeff Johns. All right, so do you see what's happening over here exactly? We're having a lot of this old talents coming back stuff, and look, Wildcats, by the way. So you're expecting retailers to spend money on all this stuff in November. You obviously they're all going to go in big on the Spawn and Batman stuff in December. Then by the time January rolls around, you want to put their money into Dawn of DCU. I don't see how that works out financially.
So there's an expectation. A lot of these projects that you're talking about have actually been in works for years, and they're actually even going back to this Spawn Batman crossover that was on again, off again. So a lot of this stuff is like high dollar projects, things that have a lot of capital invested in them that's getting ready to try to throw out there and pull some money back. Ideally, somebody at DC, I hate to say this, is banking on that while people are already in the shops buying, we're going to get a return of a customer we haven't seen in years. He's going to come get a Marc Silvestri book. What if, just what if, in the middle of that, we had a whole reboot that has nothing to do with that book whatsoever? Would they happen to pick up and sample some of these new books? And oh, guess what, guys? We better make it look like a recognizable brand all of a sudden. We need to get away from all this swapping characters
no
out
Nubia,
and stuff like that.
John Ken, none of that, and no Harley Quinn trying to be part of the Justice League and Black Adam lecturing everybody. All right, okay.
And in the middle of this, no matter whether this is smart business or not, like there's a lack. I'm from what I'm hearing internally, there's going to be a lack of talent on this relaunch. There's going to be a lack of marketing on this relaunch. Honestly, all these things is a lack of marketing that they're all butted up against one another. That's a lack of marketing 101 right there. This could be a big wreck for the American comic book industry because all these relaunches are happening sooner and sooner, and they're actually usually performing worse and worse. I mean, Rebirth was nice. People liked it. There was something there at the beginning of it. Of course, Jeff wasn't that involved. I think he should have been more involved than he was and continued on with it. I don't see Future State, again, was a turd. And now this. And what's the pitch for this? The pitch is a return to our classic lineup. I mean, I guess, but I could walk past somebody in a Walmart wearing this t-shirt and it's a return to classic lineup. You're going to have to get me with something more as a fan to come back to DC. And that is going to have to be like respect me as a fan and customer base of these characters. You know, I don't want any, I don't know. This just feels like a decoy duck or something. It doesn't seem real.
Well, like you said, the Alphabet community could just be up in arms about this when they do finally get wind of this and they're like, hey, where is my bisexual Superman? Where are all my representations? They're gone. Right. You went back to all the cis white characters. Bad DC. Yeah, bad DC. But what's not bad is Inglorious Rex 2. Sign up is live. Guys, go sign up, get access to an anatomic lenticular card with purchase. There will be secret tiers for the people that sign up. So please go look down below. The link is down there. Hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And we will catch you with another video.